Class has started, and we meet again because there is a lot of work to do. You got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do. And admitting it, saying it out loud, is the first step to any significant change. I mean, instead of it's going to be a lot of work, I could have said it's going to be worth it. Or there is just few things, small things that you must implement to get to the point you want to be. And while this is uplifting, it is making the message of this video more vague. Today's first lesson is going to be about glowing up. And I'm not just talking about a physical glow up. I'm talking about a powerful 360 glow up, where the actions that you take are always striving for your highest level of happiness. In a world where you might be encouraged to go the other route, to feel a little less confident about yourself, to invest a little less about yourself. In a world where limitations are emphasized, and like the way I started this video, it's for a reason. A lot of people will quit after 2 minutes of watching simply because I said that it will take a lot of work. And the reason you're still watching is because deep down, you know that you owe it to yourself to get that glow up. And you understand that anything that is worth having doesn't come easy, or else anyone would have it. And then your desire for that thing wouldn't be as strong. Of course, we wish everyone to find that inner peace and to feel that confidence and to feel that inner power, but realistically, a lot of people are simply comfortable where they are at. And it is not our place to tell them that it's a bad thing. It takes a little bit of everything and everyone to create a world. But you are going to watch this from beginning to end because you are a chosen one. You feel deep down that there is a few missing pieces. And sometimes the environment we're in doesn't allow us to truly figure it out. Today we're going to talk about glowing up. What does it mean? And how can you do it? Let me start with an example. Would you be able to improve your finances if you did not look at your bank account first? Datas are everything. And you have a lot of information about yourself. You actually are the person that knows yourself the best. And I believe in that so much so that I will not tell you exactly what to do, because once you hear my words, it will come as a natural realization for you. And you'll have that aha moment. So back to the example. Of course, you can't improve your finances if you don't know exactly where you start. And so, knowing yourself is the foundation. If you are interested in knowing more about the concept of understanding who you are, I have another video on that, which I will link below. But let's give you a brief summary. You are a complex person, and you have a history. Things have happened to you. You've put yourself in situations. You've met different people. Or you've been isolated your whole life. Heck, what do I know? But all of these experiences combined create who you are, or at least the perspective that you have on life. Sometimes it's a very wide perspective, but sometimes it's a little minimizing. Let me give you an example. If you grew up with parents who used to tell you that you're never going to be good at anything, or how could you do that? You're not special. This is very difficult. Do you realize how hard it is to make $1 million? Do you realize how hard it is to enter theater school? Do you know how hard it is to exist? Essentially was the message sent to you. And that is one example. That could have been reinforced by friends, a toxic partner, relationship, and so much so that it became your perspective of yourself. Let's go back to the bank account example. Let's say you're opening it and you have $4.44 left to your name. You might be thinking, my God, I'm so broke. What am I going to do? I'm never going to be able to fix that. I'm never going to be able to make my situation better. But the reality is, you can also look at that same exact number and think to yourself, something needs to change. Something's not working. Something needs to change. But you see how the focus is not blaming yourself, and instead it's an overall view of the situation, which is what it is. And you have the power to change it. You're observing it. I have $4.44. But instead of saying to myself that I'm a brokey, I'm never going to be good at anything, and this is my fault, you're taking responsibility. And you're saying, what can I do next? How can I fix that? What happened? Let me look at exactly the transactions, and let's fix a little goal, just a little goal, to start maybe feeling more safe and secure within my finances or my life in general. And you see, when in your life you put yourself at a lower level than other people, you are doing the same thing. I am not good enough. I am not meant for success. I can never do that thing. It's so hard. It's challenging to put myself out there. And while these feelings are valid, and I respect that you are experiencing them, the reality is, are you taking the actions that are necessary for you to even have some data about, is it hard? Is it good? Is it doable? Are you gathering the data, or are you looking at other people's experiences to make that a proof to yourself? The thing is, while some people might say, it's very difficult, you will never be able to do it, I wasn't able to do it, so how could you? Their perspective of life is very limited. It's shrinking. It's so tiny, it doesn't fit anymore. And that's why you're watching this, and that's why you know that you need to glow up, because a lot of people have stained you. It's not that you're not already perfect, confident, beautiful, worthy. It's that other people made you feel that way. And you didn't know better at the time. So you took it in and you were like, all right, bet. This is what we're running with. And do you see how, by doing so, by taking other people's advice and opinions that you wouldn't trade lives with, you are putting yourself second. And that's where you need to glow up. Because it is your birthright to have fun. It is your birthright to fail a bunch of times. It is your birthright to try things out, and for them, maybe not to succeed, but at least you'll gather data that will eventually make you get to the point that you're aiming for. Don't be stuck in the illusion that because other people experience something that specific way, it will apply to you. To sum up, a real glow up happens when you get radically honest with yourself and you start to see things for what they are. Instead of listening to other people's perspective, you question them, you respect them, and maybe you'll say, you know what, I like that for you, but not for me. A real glow up means taking people off the pedestal because we don't know what they're going through in their personal life or in their professional life as well. And deciding to be selfish for once and focus on that glow up. Focus on building yourself to the point you want to be because you deserve it. And we'll talk about what does it mean to build yourself, and we'll talk about what does it mean to have goals and what kind of goals are sustainable. But for today, I want you to think about what was said, to run with it, take a sheet of paper, and here's what you're going to do. You're going to write down every belief you have about yourself. And maybe it's going to take you a week, a month to gather all of these informations because you got to be in certain context to see how you talk to yourself and how much do you really believe in yourself. Sometimes it's when you're with your family and something happens, you feel triggered and it's like, oh, hey, there it is, that little discomfort that I had. But sometimes it's in that relationship that doesn't work anymore, or with that friend that was always in a competition with you. I want you to use that note app and write down, how do you speak to yourself? What are the most common phrases that you repeat in your head? And is it serving you? Get down to it. Go for radical self-awareness. Write down the perspectives that were given to you by your parents, by your mother, your father. What would they tell you? And what do you still repeat in your head to this day? This is going to be your first lesson because you're going to figure out all of the lies and the stains and that are easy to tweak but difficult to overcome. It's easy to tweak because you say something else instead or you say nothing, but it's difficult because it's been there for years, okay? So realistically, this is going to be a lot of work because A, you got to be honest with yourself, and B, you got to be ready to see how much you disrespect yourself on the day-to-day, and see eventually forgive yourself for that. But all that and more in the coming videos about glowing up. That was your first episode and the first lesson where we learned about self-awareness. I told you how much work we'll have to go through the process. And make sure to hit a follow on my social medias, on my Instagram and on my TikTok to stay up to date and share with me your process. I upload on Patreon every week. You have access to all my videos in advance and exclusive and bonus vids. And finally, thank you for investing in yourself.